Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we're going to look at an accessory or some replacement parts for your Luxe today. So this is the DLX Luxe Detent kit. So what you're going to get in your kit is you're going to get a couple things, and depending on what version eye cover you have, there's some different parts for different versions. This is a relatively new Luxe. This is a 2.0 OLED, so it's got a different style of piece inside there. I'll show it to you when we're done or when we're going through it. What you're going to get is you get two little springs. They're like a cone-shaped spring, and you're going to get this rubber block right here. And if I spread this rubber block apart, you might not be able to see it, but there's actually two circular cutouts in this block. Now these two things do the same thing, and depending on which version eye you have, you'll see one or the other, or which version eye cover. Then you have your detent spring and your detent itself. So let's pop this eye cover off. And inside here, you've got your detent, which sits right here. And then you've got this one has the spring on it. So your spring is sitting right here. And then this is your latch mechanism over here. So this spring basically pushes against the eye itself, and it keeps the eye firmly seated into its housing so that it's not wibbling or wobbling around. Now, earlier versions of this eye cover, instead of this spring that's right here, it had this foam piece in its place, and the foam piece would push on there. So whatever version you have, you could use either one. You can also, I've done it before, if you have the foam version on here, sometimes under the foam is the same cutout that the spring is using on there. So you can actually pull the foam cutout off, or if it falls off, and you can use the spring and you can actually get it into the little slot where it needs to sit. So you can use either one if you happen to have that piece underneath there. So we're going to go ahead and change the detent real quick. On the back side of the detent, at the forwardmost section of the eye cover on the bottom side, there's a hole that lets you access the detent itself. Now you're going to need some sort of pick or something like that if you want to get in there and try to push it out. I've got this pick that has a little bit of a curved front to it. I can bring it in there, and I'm trying to push on the edge of the detent and pop it up and out. I don't want to push inside here on the spring and damage the spring. I want to get the edge of the detent and slide it up. If you're not worried about ruining or damaging the detent itself, maybe it's lost, so this really doesn't matter, or you're going to replace them anyway, you can grab this with a pair of pliers and pop it out, but there's a good chance you'll ruin it if it's still good. Or maybe you want to clean underneath it. Don't pull it out that way if you can. So this can be a little tricky. I'm going to try to get it in there and pop it out as best I can. There we go. You just want to make sure you have the right tool for the job. So there's our detent is out, our spring is out. Now I can clean this. I can get a Q-tip in there, clean it up, or replace what parts I need. So I'm going to take my new spring and my new detent. I'm going to slide them together so they just go inside of each other. Put it into the hole and push it. Whoa, popped out and hit me in the face. Push it down into place. The springs can be a little tricky sometimes. You can watch them bounce around. So make sure you're working in an area where you're not going to lose anything, and you have a nice big white surface so you can find things that get lost. Nah, you just push it in. The end of the detent has little flaps on it, little lips on it. And once you snap it in place, it doesn't let it come back out the other way. So our detent is in place. Go ahead and drop our eye cover back in, and we're ready to go. So if you have a Luxe and you need to fix your eyes, or your detents for your eyes, or your detents for your body, not for your eyes, or you need the piece that holds your eye securely in place, the detent kit will solve your problem. It's available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.